Hello and welcome everyone to this new session. So in this session we will discuss about the lesson number 3 of class 11, the interior of the art. So here, suppose this is the art and this is the surface. On this surface only we are living. So plants grow, mountain is there, building is there, and even human being is living on this surface only. And this is the interior of the art. This is the surface of the art and this is the interior of the art. So we know little bit about the surface of the art. So very little is known about the interior of the art. So today we will discuss about the interior of the art. So there are different forces that operate on the surface of the art also and in the interior of the art also, due to which different kind of landform that we see on the surface of the art, either it is a mountain, a plain, a plateau, or any other kind of landform that is formed due to this different kind of forces that is operating on the surface of the art. The force that operate on the surface of the art is known as exogenic force. It is outer part of the art. This is called exogenic force. And the force that operate on the interior of the art, inside the art, it is known as endogenic force. Endogenic, interior of the art. So the type of exogenic forces like river, wind, tide, glacier, these all things are included in exogenic force that operate on the surface of the art. River flows on the surface of the art, wind blow on the surface of the art, tide, ocean tide flow on the surface of the art, glacier on the mountains, that is on the surface of the art only. So the type of endogenic force that operate in the interior of the art is earthquake, then volcanic eruption. It may be earthquake due to plate tectonic, that is inside the art only, and volcanic eruption, that is the lava or magma that comes out from the interior of the art, that is also from it comes under endogenic force. So these are the two important forces that operate on the surface of the art and from the interior of the art, which help in shaping the shape of the art at present what we see. Somewhere it is mountain, somewhere it is plain, even continent, ocean, all these are formed due to these two forces only. So next, sources of information about the interior of the art. We know that the art is very big, so no one can go inside the art to see what is happening inside the art, what is there inside the art with their own eye. They cannot go. It is said that in the world, or the technology in the people living in the world is so high, it has become so high that people now have gone to the other space, other planets also. So people have known the whole universe, you can say, though they have not gone, they cannot inference, but a lot of the galaxies and different galaxies they came to know. But still today on the art they are living, they don't know about it directly. So because the art is very big and the radius of the art is around 6,370 kilometers. I think you understand what is radius. Radius is the half of the circle. If the half is this much, this kilometer, then how big the art will be? Then how can someone go inside the art? It is not possible. Inside the art is very hot also. So directly we cannot say anything. So the technology in the world has conquered everything, but the planet where they are living, about that only they don't know much. So whatever is said about the interior of the art is just estimate and inference, because with their own eye no one can see inside what is there. So with different kind of technology developed, people are, or scientists are, they are just estimating or making inference, thinking. They are thinking that it is possible that it will be like this or it may be like this from different evidences. Maybe it is around 90% or maybe 100% true, but still then it cannot be verified because no one has seen it with their own eyes. So there are two types of information that from which scientists they used to do this estimation. Two types of information about the interior of the art. So first information is direct information, from which the things which we can see with our eyes, and from there only we can make estimate that we can think about the interior of the art. We can see directly, we can see the thing and we can think about the interior of the art. Second is indirect sources. So indirect sources we cannot see with our eyes, but we can go we can make some estimation or some idea from that information. From that information we can make certain idea that yes, this may be this, or this may because of this happened. So we will discuss it elaborately. So because there are two important sources of information, that is direct source and indirect source. Let us talk about the direct sources of information about the interior of the art. The first direct sources of information is the mining sites. So where mining is done for different kind of minerals, that is like gold, diamond, coal, or different kind of minerals that is mined from the interior of the art. That drilling is done and from the interior of the art it is taken out. So a lot of information can be gathered from those things, that from because these all things comes out from inside the art. The characteristics of these all things, if we study, then we will come to know about the interior of the art, because whatever is in that particular whatever it is the characteristics of that particular thing that comes out from the inside the art, that will be the characteristics of that of interior of the art that we can understand. So apart from this mining sites, now scientists are also doing work on two different projects, that is deep ocean drilling project and integrated ocean drilling project. These two projects are being taken in hand so that drilling is done on the surface of the art, from the surface of the art, and they go inside the art and they can gather information about the about the interior of the art. Now what is this ocean drilling project? Suppose this is the art and this is the surface of the art. Now this is ocean, so the ocean base is little bit deeper, not little bit, it is much deeper than the surface of the art. So if it is this much, then if the drilling is started from the base of the ocean, if it is drilled this much, drilling is done here, then already the ocean is deep, and from there if drilling is started, then more deeper it can go, so that more information about the interior of the art we can gather. Though it is not possible to reach the core of or the center of the art, but much information we can gather through this process, that from the ocean only if the drilling is started, then much deeper it can go. So this process in Kola, in an Arctic Ocean, in Kola places there a drilling is there. So in that drilling is done, and in one drilling it has reached around 12 kilometers inside the art by drilling only. So a lot of information can be gathered by this kind of drilling, that is inside the ocean. So the next direct source of information is volcanic eruption. In the area of volcanic eruption also a lot of information can be gathered from the volcanoes. So suppose this is the art, this is the surface of the art, and inside the art there are some molten materials. There are in molten states. Molten means not solid also, not liquid also. So it is in semi-solid or semi-liquid, you can say. So it is in molten state inside the surface of the art, because it is inside the art it is very hot. So these materials are in molten state. So these molten materials are known as magma when it is inside the art. So they always find or search for a space to come out to the surface of the art, to the open air. They always try to come out to the surface of the art. So whenever they find a gap or find a weaker zone, they break and come out to the surface of the art. So when they come out to the surface of the art, it is known as volcanic eruption. So when this magma inside the art comes out to the surface, it is known as volcanic eruption. So a volcano is formed in the place where it comes out. So after coming out to the surface of the art, when it cools down, it becomes lava. It is called lava. When it is inside the same material, when it is inside, it is called magma. But when it comes out, it is known as lava. So when these molten materials due to volcanic eruption which comes out from the interior of the art, so it is a good evidence or good thing for the scientists to study it and to know about the interior of the art, because a lot of things can be said or can be studied from this lava that comes out, or the magma that comes out from the interior of the earth, because many characteristics will be similar with that of the interior of the earth. So these are the two important direct sources about which from which many things can be said about the interior of the earth. So let us discuss about the indirect sources of information about the interior of the earth. We have discussed about the direct sources. So from the indirect sources of information, the first one is temperature, pressure and density. So we know that from the surface of the earth, when someone goes inside, with increasing depth from the surface, the temperature, pressure and density goes on becoming different. So on different rocks the temperature, pressure and density is different. So scientists have gathered certain information about the interior of the earth from the mining sites, also by sending certain radiations also inside the earth. They have gathered different information about their temperature, pressure and density of interior of the earth. So we know that the earth is made up of different layers. So the temperature, pressure and density of these different layers are being found that it is different. So the first layer it is different, second layer it is different, third layer it is different. So based on this temperature, pressure and density, it can be found out about the type of rock that is present there, the type of characteristics of the layer, or what kind of rock or material that is found in that particular layer. So this is one indirect source of information about the interior of the earth. So let us move to the next indirect source, that is meteors. Now what is meteor? Meteor is a particular object or a particular body that comes from outer space, some outer space, and hit the earth. It is a you can say little bit dangerous things also. Sometimes when the meteor is big, the earth may totally get destructed also. Now scientists, they have worked on this so that many meteors that comes from outer space, they can displace it, they can change the path so that it don't come and hit the earth. So in the past also many meteors have come and hit the earth. First thing, it is these meteors are not from inside the earth, but why then it is said as it is an indirect source of information? Because the earth and the whole universe was formed from a same body, same small object that is known as this one big ball, and a big bang took place from there. A big it is known as Big Bang theory. From that Big Bang only the whole universe came into being. So all this, even the meteors and the earth, from where the meteors have been coming, from where it may be, but it was formed at the same time and from the same body. That is why there will be similarity between the meteors and the earth characteristics. So when the meteors come and hit the earth, then it may go a little bit deeper into the earth. But when people get this meteor, the rock of the meteor, they study the rock of the meteor, then they can know about the interior of the earth, because the meteor has also the same characteristic that the earth has, because it was formed from the same ball and it was formed in the same time. So their characteristics will be same. So if we study the meteor that has come and hit the earth, then we can know about the interior of the earth, that what is actually the characteristics of the interior of the earth. So next indirect source is gravitational force. So the gravitational force on the surface of the earth at different places, it is different. Suppose this is the earth, it is the equator. So near the equator the gravitational force is more, and towards the pole the gravitational force is less. So sorry, it is different. So near the equator the gravitational force is less, and towards the pole the gravitational force is more. Now why it is so? Because the mass in the equator is little bit more, it is big, and near the pole the mass is little bit less. So it says about the mass that is inside in different layers. So according to different layers the gravitational force is also different. So if we study the gravitational force, then we can understand about the different layers, from the gravitational force exerted on that particular layer. So the place, from place to place, the gravitational force is different. From layer to layer, gravitational force is different due to the mass. So this changes of this gravitational force is known as gravity anomaly. That in different places the gravitation is different. This is called gravity anomaly. So about magnetic field also, if we study magnetic field also, then also we can know much about the interior of the earth, because in every layer the magnetic quantity or magnetic component is different. Magnetic ability or magnetic work to do is different in all the layers. So next important classic or indirect source is about the information of the interior of the earth is seismic activity. Seismic activity means the movement of plates that is on the surface of the earth. The whole surface of the earth is based on a movement of plate. So the whole crust of the earth is divided into different plates. These plates move either towards each other or from away from each other. So this movement, when it takes place, it is called plate tectonic. So when they get or when they clash with each other, it is known as seismic force that is exerted. Due to this, earthquake take place. So if you study about this seismic activity also, then also we can get a lot of information about the interior of the earth, because the seismic activity is different on different layers, different rocks. So the characteristics of rocks can say a lot about the characteristics of the interior of the earth.